summertime, and the living is relatively easy. Fawns are allowed to follow their mothers and explore her home territory of approximately 1 square mile. Deer know every rock, stump, and tree in their territory. When danger threatens, they use this knowledge to effect a quick escape. This doe is chasing her yearling buck fawns from the vicinity of her birthing area. She knows that these yearlings can attract the attention of unwelcome predators. These two spindly-legged yearlings are now on their own. I was able to see them many times over the next year or so, turning into big, healthy bucks. Mortality is the highest for deer between 1 and 2 years old. One evening, while listening to the sounds of forest birds, this young buck suddenly appeared. Of course, he knew perfectly well who I was, but came in close for a good look at the strange human who seemed to be everywhere in his world. He is in fine shape, and the different length of his antlers is a genetic trait. One evening, when I was totally engrossed in filming some bucks at the far end of the field, I was suddenly startled by a wheeze whistle directly behind me. A doe with her yearling fawns had quietly snuck up to investigate this curious human, just seemingly standing there, motionless. By continually stamping and blowing to get me to move, she managed to attract a pair of young bucks who joined her in her antics. For my benefit or their own, I wasn't sure which, the two newcomers put on quite a show, and it was all I could do to keep from laughing out loud. Now there were 5, seeking assurance from each other. The game finally came to an end when the dominant buck from the far end of the field that I had previously been filming came on the scene to assess the goings-on. I again felt privileged to be allowed an interesting insight into the behavior of buck bachelor parties during languid summer evenings. A young buck wanders down the field to join another, perhaps his twin brother, as the dominant buck joins them. The dominant buck doesn't take kindly to a sibling pulling rank and quickly intercedes. The young buck, who was earlier chastised by the dominant buck, now seeks to regain the dominant buck's favor by offering to groom him. In some sort of body language undetected by me, the dominant buck sends the message that his itchy, velvet-covered antlers could be scratched. This velvet is filled with blood vessels which help nourish the growing antlers, but towards late summer it will be sloughed off. This velvet is quite tender, and a buck is careful not to cause injury to it. Antlers start to develop at about 5 months. The lengthening hours of daylight boost the buck's hormone system, causing the antlers to grow at the phenomenal rate of 1 to 2 inches a day, making them the fastest growing tissues in the animal world. Age, diet, and heredity play a major role in their development, depending upon whether the habitat is poor or good. A 1-year-old can exhibit from spike to the hereditary potential of 10 points. When a buck reaches 6 to 7 years old, the antlers begin to decline. As their name suggests, Virginia white-tailed deer have emigrated from a warmer climate to range further and further north. They have adapted easily to the colder climate by growing a warm undercoat and 4 to 5 inches of outer coat in winter. Deer seek comfort in each other, and as the dominant buck waits for the others to join him, he tends to his own housekeeping. Stable and deer flies persecute the deer from late spring until freeze-up. While the dominant buck's attention is diverted elsewhere, one of the young bucks decides to provoke a bit of play. These play sessions are important precursors to the rut and help to minimize serious bouts of dominance and subsequent injury to the sparring bucks. By continually testing each other out this way, there is really no need for a serious battle. By mid-September, because of their increasingly dominant hormones, most bucks have shed the velvet, causing the bone to harden and producing their crowns of glory. Antlers are shed each year by the end of January, and new antlers develop early in summer, starting from the base of the skull.